Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new Diablo 2 Resurrected patch notes. This is a massive change to the game. There's going to be new Rune Words. There's also going to be new changes to set item bonuses for some of the more beginner sets in the game, as well as some new Heroic Cube recipes. So many things to cover, but let's go ahead and get started with the new Rune Words, because I think that's what most people want to go ahead and check out. But we'll dip into everything, and in just a few days we're going to have access to this. Just as a heads up, it's not out right now, but the PTR will be coming out in just a few days. So if this is your first time here and you do want to see the gameplay, I'll be dropping it very soon. So subscribe if you're new and you'll see it within the next couple days. So let's check out the new Rune Words. So starting off, this is going to be Plague. It is a rune word for swords and it requires Cham, Shale, and And here's what it does. So we have 20% chance to cast a level 12 lower resist, 25% chance to cast a level 15 poison nova, and then a level 13 through 17 cleansing aura when equipped. That varies. And then we have some to all skills. We have 20% increased attack speed, up to 300% and 320 enhanced damage, and then we have negative enemy poison resistance, and then we have some deadly strike based on character level, some open wounds, and freezes target +3. This seems like it could be pretty cool. Maybe you're really going for some like really fast attack speed. I was even thinking some variant of maybe Druid with I think it was Rabies is a variant. Maybe this is kind of meant for that. That would be kind of cool for that. I like ideas of using maybe underutilized runes like Cham. Even Zod is a super rare rune, but like there's not too many uses for like very high level stuff. So this could be a very interesting thing. I mean, maybe you can really try to beef up this poison nova and then negative poison enemy resistance. Could be kind of cool to mess around with. Let's check out the next one though. This is Pattern. This one they actually showed off a while back, and I think it's pretty cool for leveling. So it's going to be for claws. It requires Tal, Ort, and Thul, and it has faster block rate and enhanced damage, some attack rating, fire, lightning, and cold damage. When they revealed it before, just as a heads up, it was just fire damage, but now it's all elements, and we get the extra 75 poison damage. And then we get some strength, some dex, and all resistance. So if you run double of these, maybe like when you're starting off on a new character, this could be a very nice item earlier on. Maybe when you're just going into like a nightmare, I think this could be a great item. Maybe if you happen to have another character and you want to go ahead and level assassin, this could be a really great leveling item, because I don't think you're going to be able to get like a 3 open socket very early on in normal difficulty, but I think it could be a very fun item. Again, just for leveling, this would be fantastic. You get a little bit of all resist. It's kind of like a entry. I mean, obviously Jade Talon's way better. I think it has like 50 res, but still, again, great starter item if you run double copies of that. And then next up we have Unbending Will. This is going to be a sword. This is a 6-socket sword. We have an 18% chance to cast a level 18 taunt on striking. We have extra to combat skills, which is Barbarian, some attack speed, enhanced damage. That's a decent amount with 350. We have extra max damage, attack rating, damage to undead. Then we have attack rating against undead, some life stolen per hit. Oh, this could be maybe good for mercenaries then. Then we have prevent monster heal, some strength, some vitality, damage reduced by 8, light radius requirements 20%. Okay, I could see this being like an okay item, again, maybe for like a mercenary. They're actually buffing the mercenaries, which we'll get into in the video. But yeah, just being able to have this, because I believe taunt reduces, I want to say it's AR and damage that the enemy deals, so this could be pretty decent. I'm not sure if it has any scaling on bosses, as in like you get like a less effect on like elites, but this could be definitely something to consider for mercenaries in the future. But next up we have Wisdom, which is a helm. So this requires Pull, Ith, and L. Okay, so it requires a pull. So we have piercing, bonus attack rating, mana stone per hit, enhanced defense. We have some energy, slower stamina drain, cannot be frozen. This is pretty nice. And then we have 5 to mana after each kill, and then we have 15% damage taken goes to mana. Okay, so the piercing attack, I guess this would be favoring like maybe like Zons, because I know they're supposed to be buffing like the Bozon. We'll get into all the stats in a second here, but I think this could be pretty interesting. But like it requires a pull, which is like I mean, for these stats, I mean most Bozons, I want to say we'll try to prioritize getting at least one Ravenfrost, but yeah, it still requires, if it didn't require a pull rune, the piercing attack, I guess, like you can get 70 pretty easy. So most people were running like Razor Tail if you really wanted to like get 100% pierce. I think it just, because it requires a pull rune, is kind of rough on this. But again, if you maybe doing like no trades or something, cannot be frozen is quite nice on that one. Next up though, we have Obsession. This requires, it requires Zod Ist Lem Lum Io and Neff. Okay, so this is for Steph's. It's indestructible. It has 24% chance to cast level 10, weaken when struck. You get 4 to all skills, 65% faster cast rate, 60% faster rate recovery. We have knockback, vitality, energy, increased maximum life up to 25%, regenerate mana up to 30%, all resistance up to 70, 75% extra gold from monsters, 30% better chance of getting magic items. Okay, that's a massive amount of cast rate, but if you think about it, the resistance probably was what's going to make this, in some circumstances, like if something to kind of look for. But looking at this now, like you get 3 from Oculus, and that's not even very expensive, considering it requires an Ist, a Zod, Lem and Lum. I think like the requirements might be a little high. I mean, at least it gives Zodrun another feature, but if it was like 6 to skills, I think people would maybe really think about it. But because you can get, there's much better options for, let's say like a Cold Sork, or like you can run Ashtutas. There's just so many better options for Sorks. Maybe this could be used, I don't know if Druid would even want it. Like, I think there's just better options overall for casters. Maybe there is some niche. Let me know in the comments below if there is some reason to really run this over, let's say, just any, like, Spirit plus whatever, you know, as your main, because you can run Oculus, or just, again, anything else, and you probably get better value in the terms of, like, the stats. Like, you can get plus 3 to a very specific, yeah, I think you'll get a couple more, and that like matters a lot for most casters anyways, and like the faster cast rate, you'll get all that. It's just maybe the resistances will be a little bit better unless your Monarch rolled really well. Anyways, next up we have the Flickering Flame. This is going to be a helm that requires Neff, Pole, and Vex, and it has level 4 to 8 resist fire aura when equipped, plus 3 to fire skills, minus enemy fire resistance up to 15%, some enhanced defense, defense versus missile, extra mana, half freeze duration, and maximum fire res, poison link produced by 50. Okay, now we're looking at something pretty good, but it requires a Vex and a Pole. Neff obviously basically free. I would say in terms of this one, it has some uses. I mean, it's for fire skills, so it could maybe, I know they're supposed to be buffing a lot of the underutilized things. Maybe this could be something to consider. Maybe we'll make a fire trap sin, because lightning is kind of the meta here. Next up, we have the bow and crossbow. This is called Mist. It requires Sham, Shale, Gol, Thol, and Ith. So we have concentration aura when equipped, plus 3 to skills, increased attack speed, piercing attack, 100%. And then we have enhanced damage. We have maximum damage, bonus attack rating, 3 to 14 cooldown. This is really low. And then we have a freeze target plus 3, some vitality. All resistance of 40 is quite nice. Although I would probably say Faith is kind of your go-to bow. I mean, if we want to maybe throw on your Mercenary, then you run Faith yourself. I think Faith is just better. But another use for the Shamrun, that's kind of cool. Next up, we have the set item bonus changes. So with Arcana's Tricks, we have increased mana from 25. Oh, I'm just going to read the buff. So basically, we have 25 more mana. Then we get straight up as a buff some extra regenerate mana for 12%, then plus 1 to all skills for the full set. It's, again, most of these are like beginner sets. For the Arctic gear, instead of being 6 to 14, we now have 2 to 198 plus 2 per character level for the full set. So I guess you get some scaling. Again, these are like beginner like sets anyways. And then we have Bolkathos. Oh wait, this one is actually getting a massive buff from 20 fire damage to 200, then 25 defense going to 200 at 10 lifesteal per hit, deadly strike. I'm wondering if some of these we can maybe start running these on mercenaries too. All right. Next up, though, we have Cathans. So we get extra mana regen. Siverbs. We have 10% more fire resist, 25% bonus to attack rating, and a massive amount of defense over here. So again, these are just maybe better options for leveling. Cow King's Leather. We have plus defense per character level. That's just free extra 100 life and plus 1 to all skills. I don't really think people use Cow Kings. It's just kind of a meme set. But another 100 life is not bad at all. Infernal Tool, we get extra 20% maximum mana. Cannot be frozen. That's just a nice thing to have on like all sets. Ithras Finery, so we get 24% piercing attack. And then Regalia. Amelia Bregas gives us the Cannot Be Frozen. Wow, they're really giving us a lot of Cannot Be Frozen. Then we're getting lots of extra added lightning damage, 2 per level. Okay, so well, again, a lot of these leveling sets, it's kind of hard to complete a full set though as you're progressing in the game. But I mean, I guess this gives you an incentive to save them so you can, you know, make it used for on your other character. Then we have the Nauseous Ancient Vestige, which we get extra magic find. So we just get straight up 148 magic find, increase replenish life to 20 instead of 10. We get extra fire skills, increase maximum life for 12%. Okay. Sazabi's Grand Tribute, extra poison length reduced, +1 to all skills for the full set, added damage reduced by 16 for the full set. With Vidala's Rig, we get extra mana stolen per hit, and change adds 15 to 20 cold damage, 1 to 148 maximum cold damage per character level. So overall, most of these changes in terms of like, because this is the first time I've been actually reading all of these, they're a little bit weak if you were thinking like, oh, they're changing some of the sets that they're not using to be like completely viable. Like, you know, Tals is one of the sets that I think a lot of people want to kind of have as like a chase item for a full set. But at the same time, I think that these are like nice, good changes. I actually think that, I don't know if they're going to change the drop rates, but like some of these sets, to get the full complete set, like on a brand new character, is just kind of rare just to like try to get. So maybe they can increase the drop rates for some of these like, you know, beginner sets, because if you don't get all the sets, by the time you hit like, you know, Nightmare or even go to the other difficulties, you're going to have a lot better options. So perhaps that's something they could also consider. I don't know if that's in the notes. There's also new Heroic Cube recipes, which is quite awesome. So these are going to be for upgradings. I guess changing the weapon sets. So we have a Ral Rune, a Soul Rune, and a Perfect Emerald plus a normal set weapon to create an exceptional version of set weapon. So it upgrades it. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. So with a Lum, a Pole, and a Perfect Emerald, we have exceptional set weapon to get an elite version of set weapon. Then we have Tal Rune, Shield Rune, and Perfect Dimer with a normal set armor to get an exceptional version of the set armor. So is that going to change all the stats, including the bonuses? That'd be pretty cool. I don't think it would, but you never know. Lem, and Perfect Diamond with an exceptional set to make an elite version of set armor. That could be pretty cool. I hope they add more Heroic Cube recipes, because that's always something I felt was so cool and is so ahead of its time with Diablo 2. But now we're going to be hopping into the big patch notes. Okay, so these are going to be the massive patch notes that is going to actually take a while. I'm going to try to go over these kind of fast because there is so dang many with these, because there's every single class is getting a massive change over here. So let me actually, I'm going to get rid of the gameplay over here, because I think it's going to expand. Okay, so for the Amazon, let's go ahead and go over the Amazon's newer changes. So with Impale, it's now an uninterruptible attack. The attack rating modification has been removed. The skill now always hits the target, and then the skill now slows the target by a percentage for a duration. So with Fend, attack speed is increased by 100%, reduce the rollback frames value between each attack. Well, I think they're trying to buff the spear skills, because as far as I'm aware, pretty much everyone that builds Zons usually is Javelin, and then there's some people that really like Bow as well. Then we have Power Strike, so remove synergy from Lightning Fury, so the increase 4% on the Lightning Bolt, Charge Strike, and Lightning Strike all have increased by 4%. So that's going to be making, I think, anything with plus the skills. I mean, if every single one of these is getting increased, that's a pretty nice change. Then with Charge Strike, we have removed synergy from a Lightning Fury skill, and then massive bonuses, 4%, all of them on Charge Strike. With Lightning Strike, we get a nice little 3% buff. So we remove synergy from Lightning Fury, but triple extra stats over there. And then with Poison Javelin, this skill's damage scaling at high levels have been slightly adjusted. Casting delay will no longer share its cooldown with the other skills that have casting delays. And then tooltip updated to now display casting delay. This is actually a huge change, and this is something I think is one of the best changes for this. There are certain skills in Diablo 2 where if you activate, you can't really do anything for a while. So I like this change. I'm just going to say casting delay, because they're probably going to say this on a lot of these casting delay things. So I'm just going to say casting delay update, so we can go through things much faster. With Plague Javelin, the poison duration is 3 seconds. Poison Javelin synergy is increased to another 4%. Casting delay reduced from 4 seconds to 1. Casting delay casting delay update. Okay. Next up, we have passive and magic skills. So we have Inner Sight. The skill radius is increased by 35%. Slow missiles. Now skills, instead of staying at flat base of 33, skill radius has been increased by 35%. Skill now reduce enemy missile damage based on the skill level. Wow, that could be actually pretty good. Maybe even for PvP. I'm not sure if they're going to do some like different scaling for PvP on any of these updates. Next up, Valkyrie casting delay reduced from 6 to 0.6, and then casting delay update. Then Dodge, the animation can now be uninterrupted, will no longer lock the Amazon from preventing other actions. Wow. Oh wait, it now can be interrupted. So does that mean you can, like, there's a weapon swap. It's kind of for high level PvP with weapon swapping. I don't know if this is going to change how, like, some of these things work. I'm not sure if this would be buff, because it can now be interrupted. Does that mean by you or by an enemy, keeping you like in some sort of lock? It could be interesting. Animation cannot be interrupted and will no longer Amazon outperforming other actions. Oh, okay. So it's a quality of life. I'm guessing we wanted to add some quality of life changes. Okay, so I'm guessing that would be a buff if they're saying quality of life, because that does feel kind of weird, but it's still, you're dodging the skill, so it's still good, or whatever attack. So now with Freezing Arrow, we're getting a massive buff, I believe, to a lot of the freeze stuff as well. So mana cost per level reduced from 0.5 to 0.25, so that's nice. Then Magic Arrow increased the amount of physical damage converted to magic damage for the base level, so that's a buff. Doesn't say exactly how much. Then with Guided Arrow, we have damage bonus per level increase from 5% to 7. Okay, so extra damage. Strafe remove the 25% weapon damage reduction from the skill. Oh, that's awesome. Now gives increased attack rating plus 30% baseline and 9% level. This is awesome, because I've always liked this skill. If you guys haven't tried it, it's pretty fun. It just rapid fires. It almost kind of feels like it's an aimbot, like an auto like shoots. It's really fun, especially if you like to do weird things. I like making builds like that are a little bit unconventional. One thing I did really like was doing strafe plus using Enigma. You could just teleport and then you would just activate it, and it would just like, it's cool. If you haven't tried it, like I said, definitely give it a shot. Fire Arrow mana cost no longer increases per level. Then we have, wait, that's actually huge. That's awesome. And then with Exploding Arrow, we have damage scaling increase by about 50% for higher skill levels. Fire Arrow synergy increased from 12 to 14, so buff there. Mana cost reduction, okay, so by 0.25, that's great. Immolation Arrow, average fire damage per second, scaling increased by about 100%. Casting delay will no longer share its cooldown. It has the new casting tooltip. Mana cost per level reduced. Okay, so overall great changes, straight up buffs for the Amazon. Next up, with the Assassin over here. Wow, okay, we got lots. This is going to be a huge change over here. So with the Fists of Fire, attack rating bonus increased by 10% and from 7% to 10% per level. So nice little change over there. From attack rating, more attack rating. Okay, oh, okay. So all the attack rating just goes up for Blades of Ice, Tiger Strike, Cobra Strike, Phoenix Strike. And then now Dragon Talon now only consumes one of each martial arts charge when cast. This is a huge change. So I'll basically explain it. If you guys haven't played Assassin, how a lot of these skills work is you attack and you start building up these little charges. It goes up to 3 on most of the skills. And then when you use a combo finisher, it will expend all 3 of the charges. How it works now is it only consumes 1 charge, and then you can rebuild up, and it always hits if the assassin has any martial arts. This is awesome. So I guess it always hits the target. So how this works now is you're going to build up 3, then you hit with your finisher that's going to expend the charge, but it doesn't use all 3 charges. It uses 1 charge. Then you attack normally, then you expend the charge. So it becomes build up 3 charges, then use your finisher, and then your generator, and it basically is a really cool system, and I love that they change this, and it's going to be one of the classes that I actually play first on the next PTR. Now with Dragon Charge, okay, so all of them going to have this change. Awesome. Hopefully that teleport one will also have like that no cooldown, because that would be really, really fun. So damage bonus on the Dragon Claw, so 10% per level. That is awesome. Next up though, with Dragon Tail, it only consumes 1 charge. Okay, so all of them have that, and they always hit, so that's great. So damage, okay, so I think this is the teleport one. Oh, it's Dragonflight's the teleport one. Okay, so the damage just got increased by 10%, I guess, on all of them. Now only consumes 1 charge. Casting the, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. That's exactly what I wanted. They did it. And then the damage bonus is 10%. So as long as they make it so you can keep on just doing the teleport, this is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I am so excited about this. Okay, next up though, for Shadow Disciplines, Fade tooltip has now to show the physical damage resist reduction. Okay, that's cool. Venom, the buff duration scaling per level changed from 4 to 12 seconds. So that's going to be really good. So you have a longer duration. Okay, as far as I'm aware of. Then Shadow Warrior, the casting delay, and then the casting update for the delay. Shadow Master, casting delay. Okay, so that's it with that. And then the Trap Shockwave, they remove the synergy. Then we have Charge Bolt, Sentry increase. So it's 6% up upgrade, so just a buff on that, and then synergy increased another 6% over there. Casting delays update. Charge Bolt Sentry moved the synergy from Death Sentry, and then the Fire Blast synergy increased by 3%, and then the Lightning Sentry synergy increased by 3% over there as well. Removed the synergy from Death Sentry, and then they just changed it up 6% from Shockwave and Charge Bolt. Then with Fire Blast, removed synergy from Death Sentry, and then they're increasing it by 3% for Shockwave, Charge Bolt, Wake of Fire, Lightning Sentry, and Wake of Inferno. And then with Wake of Fire, the Fire Blast synergy increased. This is, I believe, I think it's Wake of Fire is the one that people use for PvP that just like stuns for a long time. Then we have some small extra damage increase, and the Wake of Inferno increased again by 2%. An extra 8%, and then another 9%, and they just removed the Death Sentry from like all of them. All right, next up, Blade Sentinel casting delay change, and then the casting delay won't share its cooldown. The tooltip missile speed increased by 20%, weapon damage increased from 37 to 75%. Blade Fury synergy added 10% damage per level. Blade Shield synergy. Okay, I'm not sure if people would actually use this. I don't know. I remember if this is the one. I think this is the one that you throw. It's like a shuriken, and then I think this is the one where you like shoot at the little tiny ones rapidly, which is Blade Fury. So we have some extra damage. I don't know if this is going to be a viable build. I think what would really help is if they like fanned out, kind of like a multi-shot. If I just don't know if anyone actually runs this, even for PvP, as far as I'm aware of, at least. Next up, though, Blade Shield. Duration baseline increased from 20 seconds to 120, and then duration scaling per level increased, so just massive amount of changes to being able to keep it up. That's awesome. I like running this thing. It's kind of nice for just when you walk by, killing off some of the trash and difficulties that are a lot lower. So we have weapon damage increased 50%. Wow. And then we have Blade Sentinel Sentry added. Okay, awesome. And then we extra damage per level. Maybe this is going to be viable as like a way to maybe just because if you have that flight that's a teleport, it has no cooldown. I'll have to double check on it, like how it works. It says no casting delay. I'm guessing that means you can keep on casting. If you can, then wow, could be maybe a viable option for it. Now with Barbarian over here, we actually have Mercenary Changes. Like I said, this is going to be a big change. There's so many things. Let's get into Barbarian. So War Cries, we have Howl tooltip now displays radius. Okay, so just a bunch of tooltips for radius on all of the cries. That's good. I like that. Damage increased by about 30%. I don't know if people are going to be using that. Shell duration baseline increased from 20 to 30. Battle orders. Okay, so there's a bunch of tooltips on that one. Reward, also radius, fine posted synergy, so you get 5% damage taken per level. Throwing Mastery added chance to pierce. Okay, so that's just straight up a buff. Combat skills, leap, the speed of leap motion. This is pretty big, especially for PvP. Baseline minimum distance increased. Tooltip now displays knockback radius. Leap attack increase the speed of the motion 75%, double the damage. Attack rating also getting a nice little buff. Leap synergy increased from 10% to 15% damage per level, with Berserk Shout synergy replaced with battle orders. Double throw damage bonus. Yeah, they mentioned throwing Barbarian is supposed to be good. And then increased stamina synergy 4 seconds per level. Okay, so that can be kind of cool. I mean, being able to pierce will really help out with clearing out like the trash, you know, like if you're doing PvE stuff. So that's good. Anyways, or even for PvP, if they have like some pets, you know, that could actually help out as well for that. So elemental skills, Firestorm, casting delay, new update, Molten Boulder. The speed is increased by 100%, missile range decreased by 50%. The overall travel time and length remains the same. Casting delay reduced by 1 second. Casting delay will no longer share its cooldown with other skills that have casting delays. And then tooltip update to now display casting delay. Volcano synergy increased by 2%. Then with Fissure, casting delay update. Volcano, the Molten Boulder synergy increased from 12 to 16. Tooltip, okay, so it now shows the to now show a volcano. Oh, duration, that's good. I like all these like things that have quality of life. And then the casting delay update. Casting delay has been removed from the skill. Oh, I think that's the key word that we need, because I think the assassin was like casting delay something else. Ooh, okay, I'll have to double check on it. Cause like I said, that teleport seems like it was going to be super fun. Physical damage significantly increased. Tooltip to now display physical damage. Volcano synergy increased physical damage instead of fire damage. Okay, and then we have 18% from 14, so 4% buff. Arctic Blast removes synergy from Hurricane. I believe Hurricane is like the druid build that most people go for when they're playing this, unless you're doing it for like a transformation druid. Then we have base damage and level scaling increased by 100%. Also, to compensate for the incorrect damage calculation in the past, controls are updated so the skill now casts in free form and no longer locks onto one target on time. It's kind of like Inferno. I don't know if people are going to be trying out this because like 100% is pretty big. But at the same time, like, it's just, it doesn't feel like no one really uses Inferno or like Arctic Blast. But maybe now people will try. Cyclone Armor can now be casted. Oh, this is huge. This is awesome. That's like basically the thing that just absorbs damage for you. Twister, we have damage scaling increased by 50%. Arctic Blast Synergy added 20% stun duration per level. Wow. So they actually got it buffed, and we have casting delay removed on Hurricane. And it can be now cast in Werebear. Oh my gosh. This is actually, all these changes are absolutely amazing because now I'm excited to maybe do like a hybrid build. That's going to be fun. The Shapeshifting Werewolf tooltip updated to display the casting delay. We have Rabies, the attack rating bonus increased from 7% to 10% per level. Poison Creeper synergy increased from 18 to 20. Then we have Fury, the attack rating bonus goes up 3%. Tooltip to show casting delay. Change attack speed. How attack speed is determined while transformed as a Werebear. Attack speeds while transformed should match the attack speeds while untransformed, enhanced by the world's increased attack speed. Okay, so Maul, 10% damage bonus, attack rating bonus, and then tooltip stun value will now probably cap at 10 seconds. Okay, Shockwave, Maul synergy increased by 5%, Fire Claws damage increased by 75%, and then remove the synergies. Okay, and then summoning skills. Okay, so Oak Sage min and max life values are averaged to always be the same, accurate to the tooltip. Okay, so this is a weird thing. So how I believe, I don't know if it's the same on Necro, but I know on Druid specifically, when you would summon certain things, it rolls random life. So that's why sometimes one will just die a lot faster than the other. But yeah, I'm just going to mention life buff update because it's probably with like all the pets. So that's the change with that. With physical damage resist increased by 20. Okay, so most of these will probably have all the same changes. Yeah, these look like the exact same. Okay, so pretty much what it comes down to is we have physical damage resist increased by 25%, physical damage reduced from 100% to 25% in Nightmare, and then physical damage on Hell resist increased from 0 to 25. Okay, so overall, just straight up buffs on Oak Sage. I'm just gonna say it's the same exact values on Heart of the Wolverine, Spirit of Barbs. Raven actually gets a decent amount of other buffs too. So we have damage level scaling significantly increased. So we have 12% damage per level on what is it? Spirit Wolf, Dire Wolf, and Grizzly. All of them increased. Raven, and the number of hits has been reduced and no longer increases per level. So actually a nerf to Ravens as well. So they want you to summon more of them, but they're going to do way more damage. So this could be pretty big. I wonder if Ravens will actually be a build. I don't think you can actually hit the Ravens. Like, you can't kill them as a pet. I'm curious. I haven't really played Ravens, but I'm wondering if for PvP this will be like a cool thing, because Ravens are kind of fast, right? And I believe, will they ignore unit collision because they're just like, you know, in the air? I don't know. That'd be funny if Raven becomes like a new like meta for PvP. So okay, so we got the change with the Spirit Wolf. Life values change, attacks now deal cold damage. Okay, and then the base damage is increased by 10% per level. Base life increase. Life now increases by 10% per level, and then they updated the tooltip. Okay, and then summon Dire Wolf, more life, some extra damage scaling. Base life increased by 90%, and then life synergy reduced from 25 to 15 because the base life is increased. Okay, so it's probably just like balance issues. Oh, I'm guessing it's still a buff at the end of the day. So with Grizzly, buffed on life, base life increased by 15. Now life increases by 10% per level. So massive buff to Grizzly. I believe you can only have one Grizzly. It'd be cool if they made some like uniques to actually increase the counts of Grizzly. So you make a bear summoning druid. Then with Poison Creeper, the min and max life values are averaged to always be the same. Okay, and then poison damage significantly increased with level scaling. 100% rabies synergies, 10% per level. Karen Fine, the min life and max life values are averaged to always be the same, and then life recovery has been reworked to be 1% healing per level instead of diminishing returns. Okay. And then Solar Creeper and min, so extra life. Then mana recovery is 3% with the baseline with 1% mana per level instead of using diminishing calculations. Okay, so I'm guessing that's still overall buff. All right, moving on to the Necromancer. So with the, oh wait, what the heck, it just pushed me down. Where did the Necromancer go? When I opened up the thing, it just moved everything. Okay, here we go. What the heck? Just moved it. There we go. Here is the Necromancer changes. So with Summon Skeletal Mage, the percent of HP has been increased. Poison total damage scaling increased by 750%. Wow. Poison duration no longer scales and now only lasts 4 seconds. Okay, that's still a buff though overall because it just takes too long in the very beginning to get the damage anyways, so it kind of makes sense. Cold damage scaling is increased by 50%. Lightning damage scaling increased by about only 5%. Wow. So lightning was just like the best one before, maybe? I don't know. I never really like thought to like calculate which mage was the best. Now Blood Golem gets max life per level. With Iron Golem, also damage scaling per level has been increased. Then with Iron Golem, no longer return a percentage of damage when hit. Now Thorns will deal a flat amount of damage when the aura affected targets are attacked. So as far as I'm aware of, they're buffing Thorns pretty big in multiple different areas, and we'll get into that later. And then with the Fire Golem, Holy Fire bonus per level increase from 1 to 2. Poison and Bone skills. Bone Armor, extra 50% bonus with the absorption per level, going from 10 to 15 as 50% bonus. Bone Spear, we got extra synergy by 1% all across the board with Bone Spear, 2% with Bone Spear all across the board. And then the curses, weakened damage reduction now scales based on level from just 33 to now 33 and 1% per level. That's pretty good because a lot of the Necromancer curses, as far as I'm aware of, most people just put 1 point into them. So hopefully that will be a nice little change for, I guess this and Decrepify maybe? Okay. No, just weaken. Okay. Next up with the Paladin. All right. So with Paladin, we got a bunch of changes. So resist fire, tool type displays max resist bonus. Oh, you know what? There's a lot of weird things with Diablo. Like I think with like telekinesis, there's a synergy that is not even explained in the game, even if you read it. So hopefully this will help out with the different tooltips that will display the max resist bonuses and stuff. So that's good. Blessed Aim tooltip displays the passive attack rating bonus. Okay, Holy Fire area damage now scales based on the distance to the enemy. It will now deal range from 100% damage to 200 based on the furthest distance to the closest distance to the caster. Okay, so damage level scaling increased by about 90%. Resist fire synergy from 18 to 24, and salvation synergy increased from 6 to 10, so buff over there. Holy Freeze area damage scales. Okay, so all of them are just doing the same thing. It's just the scale is based on the distance of the enemy to the caster, and it'll do a range of 100% to 200 based on the first. So is it just more damage when you're farther away? I'm trying to understand if it's more damage closer based on the furthest distance to the closest distance to the caster. Okay. I'm only assuming since it's Paladin and it's melee, like the closer you are, the more damage you deal. But again, if I'm wrong on that, someone let me know. Sanctuary area, now damage scales. Okay, so that also is the same thing. Sacrifice, damage to self reduces per level. Okay, so you can get damage reduction. So that's a buff. Conversion, maximum conversion chance increased from 50 to 90. Smite tooltip now shows that the skill always hits. Oh, okay. I mean, it always hit anyway, so that's no change. It's just change to the tooltip. Remove synergy from Blessed Hammer. Damage increased by 50%. Now pierces targets and his allies. Prayer synergy increased from 15 to 20. I think Holy Bolt in Diablo 1, and I think in Diablo 2 it can actually heal. I don't, it's fine. I don't think that people are going to make a healer build in Diablo 2 anyways, but it'd be funny. Now, Fist of the Heavens, casting delay reduced. Ooh, this could be maybe good for PvP. Casting delay will no longer share its cooldown with other skills that have casting delays. Tooltip updated to now display casting delay. Holy Bolt now pierce targets, undead, and allies. No longer forces you to attack when out of mana. Improved targeting functionality for auto-acquiring enemies. Like I said, PvP, maybe Holy Bolt will be really good. Alright, so with the Sorceress, which I think is the most popular class, wow, there are so many things. Hopefully, they didn't nerf Frozen Orb at all. So Frost Nova, we get extra damage by about 25%. That's good, because Frost Nova, I like it early on. Like, it's a good leveling skill for sure, because you don't get Nova till 12, but I think you get this at 6, right? Blizzard, casting delays will no longer share its cooldown with other skills that have casting delays. Tooltip updated to now display casting delay, and then Frozen Orb casting delay will no show its cooldown with other skills. Okay, and they just updated. Oh, okay. I mean, this is not. It's no change to it at all. I mean, technically it's like a buff, but it's just with other skills. But it maybe will be kind of cool to hybrid out Frozen Orb plus up miles now, and I think that's good. Frozen Armor, duration increase. Shiver Armor, I guess duration increase, level scaling. Chilling Armor, damage level scaling increased by 200%. Duration bonus per level increased from 6 to 12 seconds. Chill length bonus per level for level 16 increased from 1 to 2. Matching Shiver Armor, defense baseline increased from 45 to 60%. Defense bonus per level increased from 5 to 7%. Frozen Armor, damage synergy, 2% bonus, 2% bonus. Okay. And then with lightning skills, Nova, static field synergy, 5% lightning damage per level. That's not too bad. And then we get Thunderstorm, static field synergy, 7% lightning damage per level. Duration baseline increased by a massive amount. And then the duration bonus is also increased. Oh. I thought that they mentioned they were going to change Thunderstorm, they were going to buff it, but like this is just duration. Yeah, you get more damage. I think Thunderstorm would be cool that like maybe every single time it hits, it would hit a bunch of different enemies, and it would like maybe divide the damage based on the amount of enemies. Because that's the ability that you activate, and it's a buff, and it just strikes down periodically. I think they really could have made Thunderstorm a lot more exciting than just a number change, but that's just my thoughts on it. Oh, tooltip, display more information about mana consuming telekinesis synergy. Hey, I was talking about that before. Yeah, this is something that, like, because people would always see I put a lot of points into this, because there's a weird thing that you can do with sorcerers to almost take no damage in the game, minus poison. But there's a weird thing that you can do with this, and people would see my stream and they'd be like, what are you doing with putting this many points into this skill? It's because it actually does something that it doesn't explain in the game. So that's good that they're now explaining it. So with fire skills, Inferno, the base damage is increased by 75% to compensate for damage. I don't know, like 75 damage is a high number. And then there's another buff here. Controls are updated so it casts freeform and no longer locks. This is really good. Maybe, okay, so this could actually fix the clunkiness. Same thing with, it's the druid skill, I was Arctic Blast, Ice Blast, or something like that. I think this could be something to consider. I'm gonna try it for sure. And the range is increased by 75%. This is huge, because if you get it like level 1, it's so hard to use the way it works, because it'll just like lock on the target. If the target moves, especially with the little like fallen guys, they'll just run away. That's a nice change. Blaze, damage increased by 60%, warm synergy, and then remove the synergy with firewall, increases run walk speed. Oh, that's huge. That could be like a reason to put a skill point to get extra move speed. And then with firewall, casting really doesn't share the cooldown. Oh, wait. As far as I'm aware, if someone update me on this, there was a bug with the firewall, and it was doing like way more damage. Are they not nerfing that? And now it no longer shares the casting delay. You could do firewall, frozen orb, maybe. That could be a build. And the meteor doesn't share the cooldown. Oh, that's really awesome. I love these changes with some of these skills. Oh my gosh. Now with Hydra, they remove the... Oh, there's just no casting delay at all. Limit maximum number to 6. And then they increase the synergy by 2%. I think that this could be... I think the damage probably needs to be a lot higher, but maybe this is enough. We'll have to test it out, like I said, in the gameplay on the PTR. All right, here's the changes that I'm really excited about. So the mercenaries are going to be much better now. So the rogue archer, they updated each stat and skill gains in each difficulty match, so there's no disadvantage of leveling up a hell mercenary versus a normal difficulty mercenary. Okay, so cold arrow, they added freezing arrow. With fire arrow, they added explosion arrow. Okay, so that's just the buff. Okay, so I'm guessing all the stats are going to be better, so overall probably will do more damage as well. And then with the Act 2 Desert Mercenary, they updated each stat skill. Okay, so I'm not going to mention this because I'm just going to say all mercenaries probably have this change. And then the second part is Nightmare and Hell difficulty now have 6 different aura types available from the higher menu instead of separating 3 per difficulty. Normal is unchanged. Oh, okay, that's good. And so with the Combat Thorns aura is now aura scaling increase and will now continue scaling up beyond the highest level threshold up to the max level. So like I said, Thorns is getting a pretty big buff over here as well. Next up with the Iron Wolf, they're updating the stats, and then the baseline. Okay, so this is a different one. The life baseline and scaling is increased by 25% and has life similar to the rogue and archer. The defense baseline is increased by 40%. Resistance baseline increased by 20%. Now has the highest resistance. Okay, so Iron Wolf was going to be actually Iron Wolf super strong. All right. Now with cold, they're going to clash Glacial Spike more often. They're increasing the level scaling. Frozen armor. Fire, they removed Inferno. Which is weird because they just like buffed it. They added Fire a Bolt, increased the chance of the Iron Wolf casting Firebolt, added Enchant now, Iron Wolf can't enchant on himself, the player. Ooh, and nearby allies. Now, this is a pretty big change. This could be a reason to select this one over perhaps other things. Because I believe you get attack rating with enchant as well. Or you can run, like, I think there's some gloves, Lava Gout, I think that's what they're called. Lightning, we have added static field. Oh, that's big. Chargeable increases the chance of Iron Wolf casting lightning. Oh. I wish they could just use static field. And that was like, I would literally run a mercenary just for static field for certain builds like that. That would significantly increase your boss killing time. All right, next up, the Act 5 Barbarian. So they updated the life baselines increased, defense baseline increased too. They don't say exactly what, but bash scaling will no longer be capped at level 80. Stun will be increased, and they added battle cry. Okay, I wish they added all the battle orders. I think that would be what people want. That would make the most sense. I forgot what exactly. I think Battlecry does like some damage, but for the most part, people want like the battle orders. I think they really should consider that, and I'm curious to know how you guys feel. I think them doing like battle orders on that would be really cool. And then if just this one, the lightning one, would just use static field. For the fighter one, that's like it's good. This one, I don't know, would have been the best cold one. But like it would give you a reason to pick certain ones over others. And then we already went over the Rune Words. Wow, these are some massive changes though. But I'm curious to know what you guys think of everything that we talked about down below. Do you guys like the changes? Or do you guys feel like you guys don't like them? I'm curious to know why as well. Because like overall, they're straight up only buffs for the most part. They might have changed around, like they changed some of the synergies up. But I'm sure overall, most of these are a buff, and yeah, the PTR will be coming out, and we'll drop gameplay of it very soon. I like these changes, but I was really hoping that we would get a massive amount of extra set changes to make them like endgame viable for all of like the beginner sets. To have more scaling. I think that would have been a cool idea to make them slightly more viable, and just the drop rate in the earlier games, because getting like the full set, yeah. But I'm hoping we get more Rune Words as well that will be like end game like super viable, because like how I feel at least on first glance, I'm trying to make this video too long. It's already 40 minutes. I would like for these to be like really good, because like you require like a Zod rune for it, and it's great that you're making use out of like runes that don't normally see play. But remember, this is the PTR. Things are subject to change. So like if they make this like 7 or 8 to all skills, like people would consider it, right? Versus like, oh, I mean, it requires Zod. At that point, I could get an Oculus, I can get a Spirit, which is way cheaper than acquiring all these runes. At least that's how I think of it. Unless you could craft in a staff that already has some stuff. I don't know. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you guys want to see a gameplay in the future of this, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and in a couple days we'll be dropping the gameplay with these new changes very soon. But take care. I'll catch you guys in the next vid. Peace.